Okay, no one say anything. Alright, let's start it up. We are back in another game of Deceive Inc. We're playing Sasori here today. Before we really get into our build, I did want to talk about the weapon 2 very briefly. Just because it is the one that got changed, the one weapon that got changed. So what they did to the weapon 2 was it gained some headshot damage, just a little bit. Personally, I didn't feel that was enough that it was going to really move the needle on that weapon. Not that the weapon's necessarily bad by any means, but we did play it pretty recently, and I wasn't really interested in playing it again. Well, it still seemed like a sword focus. The kunais did not seem to be a huge part of that kit right now, and I didn't really think the change to the headshot was really going to change that, so that's my thoughts on that. So instead of that, despite it being the one that got buffed, I was kind of hoping there was something I could become rather close by. There we go.
Might have use for that.
Jeez, they almost got shot. But in the weapon 3, which is one of my favorite weapons in like the entire game. I'm gonna leave that gray safe because, yeah. I did see someone go in here. Well, okay. I guess if you're just gonna hold the door for me like that, I guess. So if you never played Sasori or seen Sasori before, he kind of has 2 weapons in one. You have whatever your throwable is, in this case needles, and you have your sword instead of an ADS. In this case, it's a big kitchen knife. So let's talk about the needles here. They do 7 to the body, 10 to the head. Not a ton of damage. You throw 3 a second. That was the door below me? No, okay. 3 a second is kind of quick, but they don't do a lot on their own. But they do have a saving grace in that for every debuff the target, like whoever you're hitting, oh my goodness, drawers, you gain 6 additional damage. Which is a lot of additional damage. So we have 3 potential debuffs on this build. We have slow, we have poisoned, and we have trace. So let's talk about the sword, because that is how we get our first debuff. The sword here only does 15 damage, which is the exact same amount as your melee does. That's why I don't really like the sword too much, because it's the same as your melee, but it has kind of a long cooldown when he puts the sword away. But when you do hit the sword, 15 damage isn't too much, but you also slow the target, which is one of our debuffs, and can buff up our needles, but it does have that long delay that I'm not a big fan of personally. So I usually don't use the sword. We might use it if we can lead with it, but that'll be about it. So that's kind of my thoughts there on the sword, but it is our first debuff that we could apply. Ooh, that was rough. These NPCs need to stay in their seats. Oh my gosh. Did I hear a keycard in here? Yeah, this one's gonna... Okay.
Easier exploration.
Nice. All right, well then I'm gonna focus up for a second, because someone very well could be in here if there was a body back there. Let me pull this out too, because we might need it. I hate this thing sometimes. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, we put a bunch of needles into this lamp, but if you saw how many headshots I hit, and that was with no debuffs, that's how long it takes to kill someone. Like, this weapon's not all that good without anything. I don't know why that poison vial didn't really go, but it didn't really go. If they had fought back, like, at all, if that PayPal hadn't gone through right at the last moment, no, I'm kidding, that was quite odd, but it would have been a totally different fight if my poison vial also hit, because I could have, you know, done a little more. I was holding back in case they started shooting back, because then I was going to have to back off, but they just never did, interestingly. So that's that. Yeah, not a most impressive kill or anything. But we went over the needles, we went over the sword. So let's go over our expertise here, the poison vial, which we did actually get nerfed this patch. It's kind of hard to call it a nerf directly. I think it overall is definitely a nerf, but it's not a big one. I think if you don't run any expertise cooldown field upgrade, it's supposed to be the same, so it's kind of an odd nerf. But poison vial, we of course throw that vial and we get that big poison bubble that kind of explodes from it. It seems to be a little hard to throw. It seems to kind of come out from below your crosshair rather than where your crosshair is. I tend to have a couple problems with it throwing it like that because of that. Tend to miss with it a little more than I should, but we do okay. So anyone who enters that poisoned bubble, NPC or rival, gets poisoned. And poisoned is another debuff for our needles, and what it does, it doesn't do additional damage like you might expect poison to do. All it does is prevents people from interacting with hackables, so any of these intel things, any door that they have to hack their way through, that kind of stuff, they just can't interact with them anymore. We have something at least. So that works out okay. And I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, so what they did previously, as soon as you threw this, the cooldown started. So with a gold expertise chip like we have here, you could have 100% uptime as soon as your poison bubble popped, I guess is the right word. You already had one you were ready to throw, and you could have 100% uptime with it. Now that the cooldown doesn't start till after that bubble pops, did I already get this one? I did. Oh my gosh.
Navigation mode, destination.
Now that cooldown doesn't start till after that bubble pops, it of course takes a little bit for it to recharge even with our gold cooldown. So I think overall, if you run no cooldown, it's supposed to take the same amount of time it did before, and then it just changes based on how much cooldown you have. So yeah, that's that. And finally, our passive is very simple. Our passive is just anyone who is poisoned gets traced. So our poison in the bubble does affect all our NPCs as well. I mean, it doesn't do anything to them, but they all do get that debuff. You can like see it on them. But the trace only affects rivals. So this is a pretty effective spy check tool. Oh my gosh, don't miss this much.
There's luck in leftovers.
There is no vault terminal located here.
So if wow, I lost my train of thought because I had to fight. So yeah, it only affects rivals. So if you throw this into a crowd of people, the only players are gonna get traced by it. Alright, sitting here was kind of sus because like one thing to know about this build is if you don't have your expertise, you're not doing a lot of damage. As we saw against that vigil, I was hitting like 3 or 4 headshots and they were only hitting for 10, right? For Sasori, who does not actually have damage fall off because these are considered projectiles, they're fairly quick, but they do have some travel time. So there's no damage fall off. So I was hitting all those headshots for 10 and you could see exactly how long it took me to kill that vigil. It can take a moment. I'm guessing not a player because this is the last terminal and the player would have probably done it. Okay. So yeah, if we don't have our expertise up, we're probably not gonna be really fighting. It's just not worth it. It's kind of a last resort thing, and if we really have to without our expertise up, that's probably when we'll commit to using the sword if we can get close enough, because that'll be we'll need that sword bonus damage from that slowed. Ooh, Doug was having a struggle. He was the only one to come in here. Wait for this door to close behind us. Now we can sprint. Alright, we got an outfit. We've got key cards. Let's look for a fairly deep printer. But we're not going to look too hard. We'll probably check a purple room, maybe 2, for a good printer. Nope, keycard, but we don't need that. Is there one? Sometimes there's one up here. No. There is a VIP there, and that has to be the real VIP because there's no way, absolutely no way someone got here before us. There's a printer. I don't really want to use it. This one's always a little sus. I was wondering if that one person was going to come through. Alright, bonds.
Great.
So one thing we could do here is if we just throw our bubble at this door, they can't open that door because it's considered a hackable. Even if they have a key card, they can't do it because they'll. As long as our bubble goes through the door enough that they can't interact with it from outside, then they're locked out, essentially. So, yeah, that's how they can be locked out. Of course, if they have a spyglass or something, they can just get outside the range, as long as they don't touch it initially, because if they're, you know, poison lasts a while, so if they do touch it, they're locked out for until the poison wears off, even if they leave the circle. But, yeah, it's pretty effective. It used to be a lot more effective. Oh my, wait, they're both here?
Taking longer
What?
than sharpening my knife.
That, like, doesn't happen. Is it just one person? I guess we have killed a couple people. Alright, this is also really effective against, like, Madame Larson because of the trace part of it. Let's see if they react to that at all. I am looking for a fight here. Oh, it's like they went down. I'm not totally sure where they were. That going down there was a play, but hey. Okay, we're gonna jump and we'll head on back.
Running low on intel. Intel running low.
Oh, dang. They're not getting as bamboozled as I would like them. They're not following quite exactly where I'm going. There we go. That's an outfit I kind of need, and now we need some intel.
Rival agent detection mode.
They're just chilling on B. Just gonna spend some time getting some intel. There's usually not a lot in here. Yep, one. We can ping down here. Kind of with impunity, because they're probably not gonna come down here.
Intel acquired.
Head back this way. They're just kind of chilling on top. Could run through C, not C, not that C, the other C. Maybe we'll just go for it.
Intel depleting rapidly.
They're in the
Intel
building.
running low.
There we go. Trace showing its value there, of course, against the Madams. Honestly, against Madam, I don't know about Larson, but against Madam, I think Trace might even be better than Vulnerable. But maybe not. I guess Vulnerable prevents the snap entirely, but we'll call it just as good. But yeah, there we go. We did kind of use the Hollow Mimic. I took a Hollow Mimic because I thought it'd be interesting, and we did use it once. We didn't really have an opportunity to actually like sneak around someone with it, but there we go. Kind of good show off of the build. This is one of my favorite builds. I'm not totally sold on the Expertise 2 as my favorite one, but it did get changes and I wanted to talk about them. We'll do a game 2, of course, so stick around, and well, I'll see you right there once we get to the screen I can click play on, and I will see you guys in one moment while I cut out the load. Hey, look, guys, we're back on Sound Eclipse. Imagine that. Ooh, the A spawn as well. All right, I'm gonna try to use this Hollow Mimic to actually bamboozle a real person,
Right up.
and if we die in the attempt,
Is useful.
so be it. Because, like, I pretty much never try to actually use it to, like, trick out real people, but you know what? It's about time.
The secret to good health? Upgrades.
We'll really
Intel
try this time.
acquired.
On the other hand,
Where did they find all these spies?
no. Okay, nice. No, come back, come back.
How can someone just disappear like that?
Standards are much lower since I retired.
Oh, this, there we go. Someone I think is on that side. We heard a weird scream. So we could definitely get got here, but a quick knock with the Hollow Mimic is an easy
Vault
first
terminal
time roll.
successfully located.
Yep, cool.
Bringing
You
back
do you.
memories I'd rather forget.
Actually, wait. If someone came in here right now, they'd probably see him standing right here, although the dot would be on him, so they may not.
Good job. The vault terminal was deactivated.
Get upgrades.
Okay, gotta be on our toes a little bit here. Probably not going out that door, just because I do feel like someone's around.
Gotcha.
My spider sense is tingling. We should just go to B, but now I need to know if I'm right or not. Although we didn't open that door ourselves, so we can't actually get in that door. Means we're going to B. We can't actually get back into A, so we're going to B.
Got it.
Ow. 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 Okay, no one say anything. There's no way no way. This doesn't work this way. Guy, oh, what? What? Where do we go from here?
Destination set.
All right. If nothing else happens, that may have been the greatest play I have ever made.
Destination reached.
We just also got so much info too. We now know who they are and what room they're in. Now we do have to change our own disguise, but like, if we can work that out. If we can figure this out. No, not going to be able to. Shoot, hack trap.
Did you really think you could get away with it?
If I could hit shots,
Stand the heat.
that would have gone a lot better. Okay, well, this one's getting uploaded. If we die in 1 second, we're still
There is
uploading
no
this.
vault terminal in this location.
I can't not show that off. And if Vigil, if you ever see this, honestly, it's not your fault. There's no way I would have guessed there's a trash can there either. But if you do ever see this,
The secret to
GG.
good health? Upgrades.
I had 0%. I didn't think that would work in the
Alright.
slightest.
Chop chop.
Vault open. Time to get
But it
back
does
to
kind of
business.
make, if you throw the big poison bubble, like, it's a little distraction. People get a little confused, and you just kind of hop into somewhere they can't really figure out. And no one knows where every single trash can on the map is.
Get upgrades first.
Now we're probably gonna die running into the vault. But hey, you know what? We accomplished everything I set out to do in the first like minute of this game. It only goes downhill from here. Alright, we have that. I do need a little more intel.
King forever.
Do I want this printer? No. I want to be on some good behavior for a second, because that was a bad corner. Oh, I didn't mean to touch that.
Dropping this.
There's a spy right here.
Well,
Wow, they almost got me too. Well played by the Hans, honestly. My bounce pad, I didn't actually, I knew when I bounce pad I couldn't make it over the railing because I made that mistake several times. So I knew we wouldn't make it, but I figured they might think we could, and then they would come down here. So I did it right, we landed next to them, we got the thing, but then they kind of turned on us and we almost got destroyed by Hans in close range. Try not to think about that too much. Okay, onward to the package. Light was green. I don't have more to say. Like, we've done everything I set it to do.
The table is set.
Is that another Sasori? It is. For a second I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get out of Mimic, but I didn't have the Mimic in my hand. Wonder why they let you switch. You can just be a Mimic but have your gun out, technically, but you can't. I don't know, I haven't actually tried. Does shooting your gun automatically take you out of Mimic, or does it just prevent you from shooting your gun? Alright, this, I like going out the edges here.
Standards are much lower since I'm retired.
And stall for a second, okay.
Rival agent detection mode activated.
And we head over towards C, since they are really hard on the
Right there.
A side of things.
Activating
Whoop.
rival agent detection mode.
Oh wait, it's a vigil? Oh, they're just shooting people. I thought maybe there was a fight ongoing I could take advantage of, but seems like no. You know what? Trash can, let's not switch. I was going to switch off the trash can. Oh boy. Well, we know what they are disguised as now. I don't know if they saw us actually jump down or not.
In
Rival
town.
agent detection mode engaged. Activating rival agent detection mode.
There we go.
One's act.
Rare sword usage, but got us the win. And there we go. Yeah, there'll never be a play better than that one Hollow Mimic play. It's just, it won't happen. That was it. We've peaked. There's all downhill from here. Also, we are currently inside the car. Okay, I wanted to know what happened if I would just appear in the car, but there we go. Wow. I wonder if you could abuse
There's
that.
plenty more.
Don't think about that too much. Anyway, yeah, I wonder if you were a small thing in the car, like a suitcase or something, and you just let the car appear under you. Anyway, try not to do that. I'm sure it doesn't work. There we go. That was great. I love that game. That was excellent. I hope you enjoyed. Do like the video if you did. Subscribe for Deceive Inc content like this in the future, and comment on your thoughts. Yeah, there we go. And I will see you all in the next one.